right now we are on our way to view our potential new home. We put an offer in on a house 2 weeks ago and it got accepted. So we're just going through the motions now right now. We actually got someone else to go and view it for us because it's in Bolton. We were down south. So we actually haven't seen it and yet it could be ours. So it's a bit of a weird one. So we're on our way.
It's lovely, isn't it? It's lovely and it's at least half the price of the same spec house down south.
100%. You get so much more for your money up here, so it sort of made sense. Yeah, anyway, here we go.
Can you concentrate, please?
That was a good decision. So we made the decision to put an offer in, which got accepted before we even viewed it. And what's the verdict?
Amazing.
Even bigger and better than what we thought. So yeah.
We're always taking risks. Since we first met each other, our relationship has been full of risks and they've all gone our way. We're very lucky.
Don't want to count your chickens, you know, something can always go wrong. But yeah, that's really fucking positive. So we're gonna kiss, but my car is filthy and it needs a wash. And let's see what kind of job they did. So we're obviously stuck behind, there must be an accident or something. It turns out we both needed a piss. So thank fuck we go to Costa so much because we can fill these fuckers up.
We just weed in the Costa cups in front of everyone.
Who was it easier for, me or you?
You, 100%.
Being a bloke is way easier in this instance.
Yeah, it is. I didn't spill anything, there was no drips. And we also had some napkins from Nando's. So thanks to Costa and Nando's, we feel a lot better.
I actually took a video of her as she was doing it, but it didn't go down too well, so it got deleted pretty fucking quick.
See my bum.
You know, she moans about the stuff I pay. It happens both ways.
I love Nickelback. Anyone who says they don't like Nickelback is lying. Everyone's got a soft spot for at least a couple of their songs.
I hate to admit that's probably true.
It is so true.
But all this crap I was getting on the last vlog about Adelaide Diamond Parkway, I don't like it, I don't like it. I got a public shit.
He loves it, he's been singing.
Hello, right, okay. I want to talk about something a little bit different. That's something that has been affecting me quite a lot throughout the last 6 months plus, 6 months to 8 months maybe. You don't want to put negativity on your social media, but the reality is something different than what I'd like. So around mid to late June last year, shit, sort that out. Okay, I think I sorted that, all right. So around mid to late June last year, was training in the back garden, so we were locked down. I set myself a few goals, and something I've always been pretty good at is pressing strength. I've always had a pretty good press. Bench press, incline press, shoulder press, things. It's been one of the strengths of mine. I think probably if I were to name two, it would be bench press and squats. I tend to progress on the most with strength. But also, one of my lagging areas is my chest. So what I was doing wasn't necessarily working, but to be honest, I was in the best shape of my life on last prep, and then COVID happened and I couldn't step on stage. I just assumed that, you know, I'd hang fire and then be able to get on stage when I could. Didn't really think too deeply about it. I always knew that if I put the work in and I dieted well and give it time, I just knew that I'd get better and better, and that's what's happened throughout my whole life. However, in the last 6 months-ish, give or take, things have changed. So I noticed it in around mid-June, my strength just started to really rapidly decline. I didn't really have a reason for it. So for example, 3 plates on the bench, that's 140. I was doing 20 plus reps on it regularly. It was, you know, if I were to rep out as, you know, as many as I could, it was always, I think my record was 23. And all of a sudden I was getting 1 or 2. And I was like, oh, maybe, I'm not really sure what's going on here, but maybe I've got like a tweak or something's going on. I just gave it time, tried not to worry too much about it. But then, you know, 5-6 weeks in and it was still like that. And I was benching 200 kilograms for reps as my working sets. So something was really wrong. I was experiencing some pain in my neck. Turns out actually that wasn't a trapped nerve like I thought it was. I got an MRI. So the pain was still there. Went and got an MRI, and it turns out that it was spondylosis, which is a form of arthritis. So basically a nerve is being impinged. I always thought like, oh, I'll be right, I'll sort of get over it. But 8 months later, the strength still hasn't returned. And being a bodybuilder, the strength isn't the be all and end all. That's okay. I can deal with not being the strongest bench presser in the world. I can deal with it so long as I can still be the best bodybuilder I can be. Now I was reaching a new height personally. Last prep, around March last year, I felt very, very confident. I was very happy with my shape. The issue is, because my nerve is being impinged somewhere along the line, I'm not actually able to connect with my muscle the same way. So normally when I'll be pressing, it will just connect and I can feel it contract the same on both sides. Now I don't have that. This one I get a stronger contraction on. Over time that leads to atrophy, and not just atrophy of my chest but also of my tricep and a little bit in my deltoid. You can really see, and I'll probably put up like a comparison picture as well of the atrophy that's occurred in my tricep, chest, and even on my lats. I've lost fullness. And I've broken bones, I've broken, you know, pulled muscles, I've torn a pec, I've done all sorts. But this is by far the biggest challenge I've ever faced since starting weight training. So especially to be at the point where I am at my best, to have it taken away, it's kind of weird. And a part of the enjoyment of all of the things that I do is being able to perform at my best. You know, as much as it doesn't matter what you bench press, to a degree it does, because I'm not enjoying myself as much training wise because I'm not able to do what I used to be able to do. It's not as fun because I'm actually seeing a decline in my muscularity. So it really does matter. It really does. Now, I could not compete and try and allow this to heal a bit more, but I don't think that would make me happy. I do worry that I'm going to compete and I'm going to be a couple of notches worse than I would have been had I competed last year. I really, really love to compete. I love to test myself. And I think I'm going to still go as if everything's fine. So instead of just pumping big weights, maybe think about things that I do and try and think about the connection as I'm performing movements on my chest and my triceps. I actually have to really think about squeezing, whereas before I didn't have to. A good thing as a bodybuilder, you think to yourself, well, thinking about what you're doing, more mind to muscle connection, more contraction through the muscle, more tension, that would be a good thing. That's probably normally true. However, with what's going on in my body at the moment, physiologically, that's not true. I'm still going to compete. I'm still going to give it my all. I still think that I am of a standard where I can still win shows and things. And ultimately, we do it for enjoyment, right? Of course I want to win, of course. But this does make me happy. And I think by sitting out for too long, it's just not really my cup of tea. I'm also 33. Which isn't super old, but also it's not super young. You know, time is ticking whether I like it or not. So I can't just keep sitting years out. I haven't been on stage since October 2018 due to having an off season and then due to COVID. So I can't just keep sitting out. So it's one of the things that I'm just gonna have to deal with. Could be beneficial to talk about. You know, everyone goes through issues, and I guess I'm just trying to lay myself bare. Things, and we all have to work through obstacles. It's not deterring me. It is very frustrating, but it's not deterring me. It's just, so I'm going to give it my all on stage and hopefully it will be good enough. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. I've got 140 on the bar. We'll see, this used to go for 20 plus. I'm a little bit depleted, so maybe you can take that into account, but here we go. All right. bench 200 for fun. Now I'm gonna go 160 and I'm almost a little bit like, is it gonna go? So here we go. Choosing a song to get me pumped up. Here we go. Right. Good.